Hello everyone, this is Crystal Potthoff from Peripheral Arts, and today I am going to work on a turkey egg. And so turkey eggs, this is a turkey egg, and it's a little more pointed at the top than, say, a chicken egg. And it is a little bigger than a chicken egg. So here's a chicken egg, you can kind of see it in the white against the white. And you can see that the turkey egg is a little more pointed. Now, I also have a double yolk turkey egg. So that's this one. It is a little bit bigger than this one. And one of the things that's really fun about turkey eggs is that some of them, well, they all have these spots. Some of them, they're sort of evenly distributed around the egg. And when it's like that, I like to incorporate those spots within my pattern. Now, one like this, not so much. So this one I would put immediately into the vinegar, and you can use regular strength, or you can use the cleaning, or you can even use the stuff that's a little heavier, but do watch it. The shells are thicker than a chicken egg shell, but they're not, they're not super thick. But it is possible to remove these, and this one, I will be removing the spots after I've waxed the part that I want to be that color. And now this one, I would just remove them. Sometimes they look like this. They're not real pretty. So I don't want to, that's not something I'd do a pattern with. I would take this down to the white. And usually with a turkey shell, even though it's not white now, it does have a beautiful white layer underneath it. So let's get started. I think I'm just going to work on this one because I'd want to do a different pattern here, but I'll show you this one after I've cleaned it up. I'll clean that one up after I put the wax on this one first. So let's get started. So I have decided that I'm going to have some bands going around the egg like this that will be completely filled in with this color. And what I did was I looked through some of my pattern books for some inspirations, and I looked for eggs that had lots of white areas, and on this egg it will be the speckled area. So I have marked off, I divided it this way into 8 long sections, and now I'm going to mark this way, and I'm going to use my lathe, and I will do a video on using the lathe. I am not real good at the lathe, I'll be real honest. I use it mainly for the lines that go horizontal. I still need some practice on the vertical, so maybe I will come back later and show that video. So anyway, I've marked it. So I do know one of the tricks is you don't want very much space here. It's got to be in there tight, and you turn it fast. So now what I won't do is I will not be putting a lot of detailed lines on this because I'm gonna wash it all off when I do the vinegar rinse. So I need some lines on here to help me with it, but I don't need all of them. Yeah, I'm not going to draw out, like I said, the detailed pattern. Okay. All right. So I have this part done, and let me come back, and I need to add a few more lines on it just to get everything lined up, and then I'll start waxing it. It seems like it's in there really tight, but I've never had an egg break in this. Never say never. All right, whoops, and whatever you do, don't lose your washers. Okay, so whenever you store it like this, with the washers together so they don't fall out. Okay, I'll be right back. I am using my Luba's Electric with the fine tip, I'm going to use this to draw some of the lines, and then I'll use my medium to actually fill in the bigger areas. So on here, when I drew these lines, I actually put a little E where where I measured the equator. I didn't draw that line because I don't need it. I put that there because I ended up with a whole bunch of lines on here. I wasn't sure what was what. So the first thing I'm going to do is, and because these lines went all the way around the egg like this, it was one of the reasons I used the lathe, because I wanted it to be as straight, as possible. And horizontal lines are something I really struggle drawing straight, so that they don't look lopsided and whatnot. So I'm just going to draw some of these areas with a shy Kiska, of course. Ooh, that had some stuff on it. Okay, that's better. This may be hard to see on the camera, but I can see. Oh, yeah, I guess it does show up. Okay. And now I'm going to draw another line here. And I think, if I remember right, the distance in between these two lines is 1/4 of an inch. I usually measure with the centimeter side, but it was working out better for me to measure with the inch side. But it is entirely up to you how you want to draw this out. Like I said, this is going to have some bands going across it this way. So there's going to be one there, and up here, or I guess this is kind of the bottom, isn't it? There's going to be one here, and then there'll be another one at the top of the egg. So I'm going to outline these just like this, and so there's going to be a little band here, a bigger thing here, and a little band here with designs in it. Those are going to be in the other colors, so I am not going to draw anything in there because it'll all get wiped away when I put this in the vinegar to get the spots off. So I will I do need some lines to help me even out the pattern. So here, and this is about 1/4 inch here. I am going to draw another line here. I'm a little reluctant to draw too many lines because some of them need to be filled in and some of them don't. And if my lines are not exactly horizontal, by the time I get all the design in it, you probably won't notice it anyway. At least that is my plan. And so what I'm doing here on this half of the egg, I will be repeating up on this part of the egg. Let's do one more right here. And I drew some blue lines. I used my blue lead. I guess I could have used the watercolor pencil. I kind of forgot because the blue one was sitting here on the desk. And that was the one I picked up. Now, what I will do is I'm going to divide this into 8 sections. And so I used my lines, my vertical lines that I drew to guide me for this part. And then by having this section, or this band divided into 8 pieces, it will help when I go to put the design here and here to help me space it out. I'm trying to do real thin parallel lines here. And because I'm going to have this big area that is this natural speckled color, I probably will go with brown for the final color. All right, now before I go any further and I forget what I am doing, I am going to pull out my Luba's Electric with the medium tip, fill her up with wax, and I'm going to start. So this is the band that's going to be in the center. And I'm just going to do little overlapping circles all the way around and cover all of that with wax. This will give me lots of time to pray and meditate because it will take me a while. I'll fill in that one, and then I'm going to do the same thing up here. Fill in this one all the way. And then what I've drawn here, I will repeat up there. I'll come back and I'll show you when I have all of the wax on this part of the shell, and then I'll be etching it, and you'll see that part. I have all of the wax on the turkey egg while it is the natural color. And something I forgot to mention, that if you leave the spots on the egg and you feel it, it does feel pretty smooth. However, you might run into some of these darker spots might be raised just a little bit. So there could be a little texture to it. So be advised of that if you're waxing it while the spots are still on there. And then, but once you remove it with the etching, it'll be nice and smooth. And when you do the etching, you do want to make sure that you get, sometimes if there's some raised spots, that can be a little tough to get off, but you do want to get them all off, and because if not, it's going to affect your other colors. So what I'm going to do with both of these is I am going to use the cleaning vinegar. That is cleaning vinegar. I believe I got this from Walmart. You can just use regular strength vinegar. The cleaning vinegar is a little stronger, so it goes a little faster. I am going to put a plug. I'm going to plug this with wax. This one, I think I'm just going to use the silicone plug. And I'll leave them in for several minutes. I'll take them out, scrub them with the toothbrush to get it back to, or not back to, but get it to take off that outer layer, and it should be a very pretty white underneath it when I get back. So we'll see what happens. These spent about 3 minutes each in the cleaning vinegar, and they're now, all the spots have been removed, and I am ready to start waxing in the rest of the design. Now I did just finish. Okay, now see, like right there, there's a little spot, didn't come off. So I'll go back with the toothbrush and the vinegar and get that off. Because otherwise, when I go to dye it, that spot will always be darker. And if I wanted that, that would be fine. You don't have to take the dots off it off. You can dye it with the dots on there, and you always get that texture. I've seen eggs done like that, and it's very beautiful too. So this was the other one, and it is now a pretty white. And just for comparison purposes, this is kind of what they look like originally. So you can kind of see that there are a whiter color now than what a turkey egg would look like. And this is like a long, skinny one. So yeah, turkey eggs come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, but they're almost always very pointed on the top. Now this one isn't so much, but I'm pretty sure that's a turkey egg. It was in with the other turkey eggs. I'm going to call it a turkey egg. If not, it was a peahen egg, but it doesn't look big enough. This is the peahen egg. It looks smaller than the peahen egg. I really should do a better job of labeling my eggs. Okay. Well, anyway, so because I did just take these out, well, this one I'm not going to work on anymore for a while, so I'm just going to set that one off to the side. This one, I'm going to let it dry for a couple hours. Well, actually, I'm going to go fix up those spots, and then I'm going to let it dry for a while before I start working on the rest of the design. So I have lightly drawn in some design with the pencil, and I'm going to have some diamonds in here, but these are going to be yellow and red, so they're not going to be white. I'm going to have some little swirly things here that you can't really see. I drew them very lightly in case I changed my mind. That's going to go here, and then there's also the diamonds. Now, in these ones that are already divided into 8, I am going to put some deer. And on this row, the deer are facing that way, and on this row, the deer are facing that way. I could have done the deer so that these were, like, I'll call them upside down, but that's not a look I like. So I am going to, the deer are going to be alternating between white and hopefully a very light brown. But we'll see. All right. First thing is I'm going to wax one of the deer, and I am going to use my Lubas Electric with the super duper fine tip. Do you know what the hardest thing in the world is to find? It's your glasses. I just knocked mine off. I had to shut off the camera so I could find them. Whoa, okay. So let's do a deer. And like I said, I'm going to alternate these. So this one here. See, I drew some better than others. This was a good one. Okay. I'm going to start by doing the body, which is kind of a little rectangle, but the one end flares out a little bit. And then I filled that in. And now I'll do the legs. This is not a realistic deer by any means. It is representational. Put the little tail out there. And now we'll draw a little triangle here. And an oval for the head. And now we'll draw some antlers. And I have a little deer. He turned out pretty cute. Okay. So I think I'll do on this row, there'll be a brown one there and then a white one here. So they'll be sort of alternating. Okay, that body was probably a little bigger than This is a long, skinny deer. They're all a little skinny. But okay, I'll draw the legs. Draw a triangle. And the deer facing this way always seems a little backwards for me. But hey, he's turning out. Oh, we forgot his tail. There. Okay, hey, looking pretty good. All right, so I'm going to do the deer. And then in this one and this one, I'm going to be doing a kind of a curl. It's like a ram's horn for protection, but my goal is that when it's done, it looks like the two colors are interlocking. So let's see if I can do a couple of them. So I do that. I come down. I do the next one. It doesn't quite touch. It comes close, but not quite. Now I'll do another one. And I did kind of draw these out so that they would be nicely spaced out. Now, usually what I do is I draw all the swirly things, and then I come back and do this part. But I will come back and fill this in so this is all white. And then, so you look at it that way. And then kind of if you look at it this way, you see it reversed. Anyway, that's my goal. All right, so that is all I will do with the egg in the white color, and then I am going to dye it in. Now, I think what I'll do next is I'll paint in the area for the brown deer, because my plan right now is I'm going to use my Ukrainian gift shop brown, which mine is older, so it should be kind of a lighter brown color. I don't want a dark brown color because dark brown is what I want for my last color. So we'll try that and finish the deer, and then probably wash it and do the colors after that. Okay, but first I have to draw in all of my deer and all of my swirls, and then I'll be back. I have all of the white area waxed, and I'm ready to put brown in these other areas, hopefully a light brown in these other areas, so that I can do those deer. But before I continue, I have been looking closer at this other egg that I said was a turkey egg. And I do not believe it is a turkey egg. I believe this is a peahen egg. And here's my reasons. It is not as pointed on the top as a turkey egg. And typically a turkey egg is pretty pointed on the top. The other thing, and I don't know how well it shows up because I have drawn on the turkey egg. The turkey egg, when it goes to the white, is very smooth, like almost like china. This one I can see, and I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but it has like the dimpling in it, like the peahen egg. So even though this is, it's a little bigger, but it's not much bigger. So I think this one's a peahen egg. But I took the outer coating off, just like I did here with the cleaning vinegar. So a public service announcement. You might want to keep your eggs labeled because if it's not obvious what they are, that could be an issue. Could not. I mean, I think I figured it out. but I'll set this one aside and I'll work on it later. And we're going to continue working on our turkey egg. So I thought I had some brown from Ukrainian gift shop made up. I do, but it's not here in my studio. So I'm going to use Nubian brown from Pysanky, USA. And I'm really hoping it's not too dark. So here's the jar of dye. And here is my micro brush. And I'm just dipping it in. I couldn't see it, but I just dipped it in the side. And now I'm going to, oh, okay, yeah, that's working. That's not too dark. Okay, so I'll just cover the whole, I'm going to cover the whole square. Because I don't know exactly where I'll put the antlers and everything. So I just want to make sure it all has color in it. Now I'll dab it off. And then I'll do the next one. And I'll go all the way around that, and then I'll wax those deer the same as what I did before. I will rinse this off because to get rid of the excess brown, because my next color is going to be yellow. And even though there's not going to be any yellow where the deer is, it could impact the final color. So I'm just going to do that. So put this in, put my deer on, and then wash it. And when we come back, it should be yellow. This is such a pretty color. This is, I had the egg in Ukrainian gift shop yellow, and it was a little too bright for me. So I put it in the gold. So it was in the yellow for 3 minutes. I let it dry, and then I put it in the gold for like a minute and a half, just to get it a little deeper, because it just, with the natural color of the shell being what it was, I just thought the yellow might not have been the right shade. So we're now ready to start doing the portions on here that will be this color. And mainly what it is, it's these diamonds in here. And what I've done is, I know you can't see it, but I divided each section in half. So there's a line here, a line here. I did that all the way around. And then I lightly drew in the diamond. Let's see. Is it okay? I don't think you can see it, but I don't want to draw it too darkly because I want to be able to. I just don't want to draw it too darkly. Okay, so now I'm going to wax all of these diamonds, and I will wax each one individually. I'm not going to. You could draw a line like this and like that. You could draw a zigzag and do a zigzag the other way, but I prefer to draw them each individually. So I'm going to start in the middle of the section. Oh, and I'm using my Lubas Electric with the super duper fine tip. So I draw that diamond. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw that diamond. And I'll repeat that all the way around. I'll do a couple more here. So these are diamonds that are not okay, they're what I call squishy diamonds. They're not they're not at 45-degree angles. That's it. At all the corners. Okay, I will keep doing that. And there is an even number because there was an even number. There's 8 reindeer. So there will be 16 of these diamonds. So what I'm going to do in every other diamond is I am going to put some netting, and it's going to look like this. And then I'll skip that one and I'll do this one. And then I'll do that all the way around. Then in the top, I am going to completely fill in. This is my Luba's Electric with the fine tip. I am filling in this. Yes, I am filling in this one. And again, it will be every other one. So I'm going to completely fill in that one. And then this one. And so where I don't have these little lines, that one I fill in. Just like that. All right, so this is going to take a little bit of time to wax that, and I'll come back and show you what I have done. I have this beautiful red color, Scarlet. Okay, this is the Ukrainian Gift Shop Scarlet. So what we're going to have this color is this area. The other diamonds, we're now going to put the netting in them, again using my Luba's Electric with the super duper fine tip. So that's going to go in there. Right like that. And all of those. Same thing. And then at the top, and I'm going to switch to my fine Kiska. I'm going to completely fill in this area. Right like that. And all of them that, so I'll fill in, you know, that one and that one and that one. And then I did add some more color around the deer. And these are just some other little elements just to put a little more color in these areas. It just looked, it looked kind of plain to me, and the only red was in here and here, and that was the same for the yellow. So I wanted a little bit more of that color. So I'm just kind of putting some random dots around the deer, and I'm doing it on all the deer and all the netting and filling in the top and bottom. Then I will dye it in brick, which is a Ukrainian gift shop color, because I'm going to put some brick on here and then dye it in the dark red. I believe that's the color sequence I'm going to use, but first I have to get all of the red parts waxed. And now we have this beautiful color that is brick. This is the Pysanky USA. No, I'm sorry. This is Ukrainian Gift Shop brick. So for the brick, at the top and the bottom, I am going to fill in wherever there were the stripes. I'm going to fill in that area with the brick. Okay, fill in all of these areas here, and I'll do that at the top and the bottom. I am going to completely fill in this band here that has the swirl on it. And then I am going to I kind of went back and forth on this, whether or not I wanted to do it, but I think I do. So I am actually, do I want to do that? Yes. Okay. I'm going to fill in just this area. And and then up here too. All around here. And what I'm trying to do is break up just a little bit the color from the background color. And I think now that I look at it, I'm also going to put the brick in here. Because otherwise, where the deer is going to be the same color as this little stripey area. And I think I want to do that. Yeah, just like that. Okay, hope I remember everywhere I said I wanted to put wax. And I will put that wax on there, and then I am going to dye it in the dark red, a Ukrainian gift shop color, and I'm hoping that will be my final color, but I do need it to be a dark color. The reason I used the scarlet in the previous color rather than the red was that the scarlet will give me more contrast with the dark red, but I do need the dark red to be a deep red. So if it's not, I'll have to go with plan B, which I don't know what that is yet, but I'll figure it out. All right. We'll be back with the final color. Oh, I love this deep, rich, dark red that I got. It's beautiful. It was a little tricky to get it. I had to do some experimenting. So I put it in the dark red, and it wasn't quite rich enough. It wasn't dark enough for me. So I tried something. I put it in light green. It had been in the dark red for 3 minutes. Put it in the light green for a couple minutes. It was kind of a brownish reddish color. It wasn't a pretty color, but it was a brownish color because red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel, so they make brown. And then I put it back in the dark red, and I got this beautiful color, which I think just looks so cool. Anyway, okay, it is time for the reveal. Let's see what happens. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. My brown deer aren't as dark as I would have liked. I didn't do them real dark because I wanted to make sure I had contrast, but you can kind of see that they're a little bit different. Oh, I love it. It turned out cool. Okay. I will have to remember that trick of the dark green or the dark red and the light green. And those are Ukrainian gift shop colors. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope this gave you some tips on doing turkey eggs and telling the difference between turkey egg and a peahen egg. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and have a blessed day.